What do you think?
Oh, that's right. What do you think? I think it is Friday. And I think we got a lot of good topics to talk about. The president's fitness test. One of the things that I wanted to talk about on that. I got several things. The president's fitness test, Kamala Harris's 107 days. I've got a comment about that. Greg Swalwell pumping iron, being on camels. I mean, I don't know what this guy is all about, what he's trying to prove. If he's running for president on the Democratic side, we've got a ringer. We don't have to worry at all. He's an interesting character. And congratulations to Maine and Maxwell for passing the torch and keeping a business that started from nada to making it what it is today, right there on the corner of Maine and Maxwell. So congratulations for that changeover. And also about all this... all the fun that we had over there at Dairy Queen. I went live. I got to say a big thank you to the mayor for being such a good sport. Although, I must say this, I think the mayor was quite smart because he was sitting there in his swim trunks and every time somebody dunked him, he got to get in some nice, I hope it was cool water. He kept saying how refreshing it was, and I'm sitting there dying in the heat. So maybe he was the smarter one, but he sure was a good sport. And I haven't heard how much they raised or anything last night, but that was a lot of fun. And I think that everybody was having a good time. Face painter, my goodness, there was a great face painter there last night. Bouncy houses. But, the main thing was to sell blizzards and sell multiples ones of them if we could. I did see lots of people buying more than one, buying coupons to be able to use to futuristically give out for birthday gifts, a little pick-me-up, or maybe just for themselves. And I got a blizzard last night, and I was eating it, and I was going, I can't eat all this. So I remembered what Emma Lee from Prisma Hospital said. Just take it and put it in the freezer, and then you can come back, and it's like having a blizzard twice. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my blizzard today. But that was a fun promotion, a worthwhile promotion, and I know on behalf of Seth and his family and all that worked so hard to make this come together, say a big thank you for your participation. Especially want to thank Kenzie Mullet and her daughter Rosie for coming on yesterday and giving us an insight into what goes on at Prisma Children's Hospital and the experience they have had with Prisma Children's Hospital. Rosie is the little girl that was diagnosed with a very unusual form of kidney cancer and is now getting going. They had the surgery up there, and they are now going through the chemotherapy up there. So, and it is the only children's hospital between Atlanta to Charlotte. So they last year served, I believe she said, over 500,000 children. A phenomenal number, and yet. Kenzie said they love how the doctors are able to handle the children, keep them calm, keep them helping them do the diagnosis and everything. So it's very, very great. All right. So that was a little bit about Dairy Queen. I always enjoy being part of something that has spirit, and we had spirit yesterday up there. We were supposed to get a shower at 5, and I don't know, this has happened 2 years in a row, and we did not, I repeat, we did not have any showers. The skies parted, and the sun came out again. So a lot of fun. All right, so that's my little take on that. big thank you again to Dairy Queen for putting this event on. I will tell you, I just want to tell you this one thing. While this is a Dairy Queen nationwide event, the operators of the different Dairy Queens can decide to participate or not participate. And Emma Lee, who is the foundation member up there at Prisma Hospital, which was coordinating with Dairy Queen down here. In fact, she said they had 18 Dairy Queens. But she said that she always loves to see what our Dairy Queen does because they have such spirit and enthusiasm. And that is one of the things that I think is so terrific. So, to all that were involved, thank you, thank you. All right, now let's move on and talk about some stuff. So what did you think? What did you think about the President's Fitness Test? For those of you that are of a certain age and had to struggle to do this, right? I being one of those. I mean, I never considered myself unfit. I just had problems. What was it? Weren't you supposed to do 50 sit-ups? Maybe it was 100. How many sit-ups was it? I don't remember. Anyways, it was either between 50 and 100. That was the one. Well, I had more than one struggle. I couldn't actually do 50 sit-ups very well. And remember when they used to hold your feet down? You had to have a partner holding your feet down, and you had to try to chunk out those 50 sit-ups. Oh, my God. I tell you, another place that I am weak on is my upper body strength. My arms are just not strong. They've never been strong. And, you know, in today's world, I guess probably I could have gotten some coaching to make me stronger. Back in the day, it was just, oh, Ann, just move on. But the President's Fitness Test, I think that it's a good thing because it puts, number one, the spirit of competition. I never got a trophy or anything. Did you get a trophy? I don't know. Did they give out trophies for this? I don't remember that. I just remembered it was something you had to do. So I don't remember that. In today's world, of course, everybody gets a trophy. But back in the day, there were no trophies. I don't think. And so one of the questions that was being asked yesterday is, should it go back to the same test that it was back, in the 70s, 80s? I don't remember when they actually finished it. Or should it be a little different? So I think there is something to be said about changing it up. I'm not sure how they would change it up, but I am glad to see that physical fitness is being put back on the board to help make America healthy. So they've put together quite an impressive group of golfers, professional golfers, people that are in sports and everything to get this job done. So I think that's exciting. I wanted to mention that. If anybody has any thoughts about it, 864-229-7984. That's 864-229-7984. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about the President's Fitness Test, going back to doing that. Of course, I think the question is, what can President Trump do? I mean, I'm just saying. I just want it, since it says it's the President's Fitness Test. Anyways, just a little joke. But something to strive for in physical fitness, I think, is a great thing. It seems we have two very divergent. We either have children and young adults who are very into fitness, working hard all the time, being involved in sports and whatnot. And then we have those that are not, that are just really, I'll use the old-time term, couch potatoes, right? Couch potatoes. It's kind of seems so divergent, and they have their phones in their hand all the time, and they can't ever put their phones down. So I would be interested to see that all children had some minimal requirements for fitness, and I think that would be an excellent thing. Do you think they should get a trophy? I don't think they should actually get a trophy. It kind of takes away from it. You know, we should reward those that are exceptional. And I think most children know that when a child is exceptional, that they're exceptional. So why shouldn't we give them the opportunity to be exceptional and get the reward, right? I think so. What's it say? If every child gets a reward or a trophy, then there is no incentive for them to do their best. Yes. And also, I believe that's part of society's problem. We reward mediocrity. Yes, that is true. That is true. We reward mediocrity by giving everybody a trophy. We don't want to leave anybody out. You know, in life, we all are not equal. There are those that have special talents, and they're rewarded for their special talents. And I do think as someone, as a person becomes an adult, and if as a child they've been treated like, well, why can't I be on the radio? She's on the radio. Or why can't I be, I don't know, be what? Be a track star. She's a track star, or he's a track star. And sometimes we don't realize how hard some of these kids work. I'll just use soccer, your soccer teams, Toro's soccer teams, how hard these kids work week in and week out with no real aplomb. They have parents that are out there supporting them, but they're working hard. And in a lot of our sports, the kids do work hard that are on teams, But to say that everybody deserves a trophy certainly doesn't make people aspire. And I just wonder, the point I was trying to make is, as these children become adults and all of a sudden they're all not getting equal treatment, is that a detriment to them in their lives? Well, I think so, because they just look at it like what? Well, they got a raise. Why didn't I get a raise? Well, because you weren't doing a job. She got ahead. Why didn't I get ahead? Yeah, I mean, I think this could lead to a lot. So I certainly am glad to see the president's fitness test. This is something that we can all watch and see how it develops. I will love to see what type of fitness tests they end up with, because things have changed. You know, holding your feet down doing sit-ups is not you holding it, but having somebody hold your feet down doing sit-ups is not actually the way they do things. And then, of course, we get all these fitness gurus out there. Don't you love that? Telling us, oh, if you do this exercise, if you do that exercise, if you do this, you'll be perfect. Oh, the way you were doing this isn't right. So anyways, that's just my take on this whole thing. All right. But I think it is great that they have brought that back, and I'll be interested to see how they pull that together. All right. Now, Kamala Harris, she's done it. She's written her memoir or a book, 107 days. I guess that leaves it open to interpretation as to what the book can be like. And I don't know if you've seen any of the promos or anything out there. I have seen a few of them, but she doesn't say much. She talks about it was the shortest campaign in history, and so I think she's proud of the fact that she actually did what she was able to do, right? In 107 days. And, you know, it's probably going to be a whole lot of yada yada and, you know, word salads and all this kind of stuff. What do you think? I think it's going to be worthless. But I think she's going to sell them. And, of course, you know, was it yesterday or day before? She decided not to run for governor, probably because she had this big book coming out, 107 days. It's supposed to be the behind-the-scenes watch of her life. Well, you know what it is? It's probably a book that's just blank on the inside because she never gave us anything anyways. I call it 107 Days of Torture. The worry, the angst, the can they pull this off and can they make her president was all I kept thinking about. And I was just kept saying to myself, oh, Lord, where are we going with this? But so I think the fact that she has written a book, I don't know how many pages it is. That would be an interesting little tidbit to know. How many pages is Kamala's book? Yes. I wonder if I can get the answer to that real quick. Is it 100? Is it 107 pages? One page for each day of her campaign? Let's see if we can find out if that's out there. How many pages is Kamala Harris's book? There we go. Harris's new book. Has she ever written one before, or is this her first attempt? I'm sure it must be her first attempt. But anyways, let's see how many pages. It should be able to tell me the answer to this. But yes, it may be 107 blank pages. Who knows? But it's her behind-the-scenes perceptions, getting intel from her friends and her family. It's listed as 320 pages. Scheduled to be released on September 23rd. It's listed at 320 pages in the hardcover edition. All it is, title, 107 Days. You know, that could be anything, couldn't it? Let's all write a book about something and just put how many days are in it and see how successful it is. It is being published by Simon & Schuster, so we'll see if there's any more details develop on it. It's the memoir chronicles Harris' rapid-fire presidential campaign launched after Joe Biden's withdrawal and reflects on what she calls the shortest presidential campaign in modern history. It offers behind-the-scenes insight into her journey, challenges, and the lessons she learned during those 107 intense days. Something in me almost would like to get to see if we could get Kamala Harris on the air so we could just have to listen to her laugh. Somebody made a comment yesterday that they hope that she doesn't do an audiobook and it's not her because they couldn't stand listening to the audiobook, particularly if they had to listen to her laugh going through it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Anyways, that's a little bit on that book there. Okay, now we have another serious topic to talk about here this morning. One that kind of worries me, but we'll talk about it anyways. This is Nancy Mace is getting ready, to announce her campaign for governor. Nancy Mace, gubernatorial run rumors reach fever pitch with an apparent slip-up days before her special announcement. This is from the New York Post, and she appears to have prematurely revealed the launch of her gubernatorial campaign next week while promoting her series of town halls in the Palmetto State. In a blast of advertising, the first stop of the mother of all town halls tours is Myrtle Beach. The congressman's team tagged the event as being hosted by Nancy Mace for governor. That was a slip-up, folks. It says a webpage for the event teases it being hosted by Nancy Mace for ... But the screen grab of the slip-up, whether it was intentional or inadvertent, quickly gained traction on social media. It comes ahead of her, quote, special announcement next Monday. About the only thing that would be a special announcement in my books was that she said she wasn't going to run for governor. So that's what I would, that's what what I would like to hear. I think it's interesting that she's calling her town halls the mother of all town halls. You know, she likes to get out there and mix everything up. It was, it says, when asked about the screen grab, a spokesperson for Mace told the New York Post, "Will confirm on Monday." Mace, who was first elected to the House in 2020, has long been dropping hints about her plans to jump into the race to succeed Governor Henry McMaster. President Trump, here she goes. President Trump needs America first governors. South Carolina needs a fighter, Mace declared on X Wednesday. She also cut videos hyping her August 4th special announcements, which takes place at the Citadel down here. So she graduated from the Citadel in 1999, was the first woman to graduate from the Corps of Cadets program. And notably, Maxine Hudson was the first female to graduate the Citadel in December of 1969, a fact I think we don't actually think about. But Mace was the first woman to graduate from its Corps of Cadets program. So she's got a thing out there. Buckle up, Buttercup. Yep. You know, I don't know how you feel about Nancy Mace. I think she is a little too out there for our state. Out there, meaning number one, I think you can make your point without using trash mouth language. Now, and an occasional word may be well placed and well used, but to use them as a constant barrage of how we talk in today's world, I think puts you more in the Democratic side than it does in the Republican side. But what do I know? She has made a name for herself as a cultural warrior in Congress and for her pomposity. Personally, I honestly think that she's looking for an off-ramp from being in Congress. I think she has, I'm going to use the word, wore out her welcome. While she has done some good things, I just think that she has pushed the limits on some of the things and maybe lets her mouth overload good thinking. So I think part of being a politician is to be able to, number one, listen and not feel that every time somebody says something you're being attacked. And if you are being attacked, turn it around to your benefit, Just a few words I'd like to say here on it when it comes to Nancy Mace. So she went viral in April on the eve of Easter for getting into a foul-mouthed shouting match with a random man wearing Daisy Dukes at a local store down there in Charleston. Remember that? The man whom she accused of being an unhinged lunatic and of harassing her chided Mace for not doing more town halls. She countered she will do plenty more. And by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice, she noted, implying that he looked gay. The two exchanged F-bombs, and Mace later posted a video on the encounter on social media. In May, Mace displayed a naked photo of herself, only showing a silhouette of her during a congressional hearing. Sparse polling has pegged Mace as the front runner in the South Carolina gubernatorial contest. I cannot believe she is the front runner. Should she make the run for office next Monday, Mace will face against, of course, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette, Attorney General Alan Wilson, State Senator Josh Kimbrell is still in the race. Hard to believe it, but he's still in the race, and also Representative Ralph Norman. So we'll see. But I just honestly don't see how she could become the governor of the great state of South Carolina. But maybe I'm out of touch. What do you think? 864-229-7984. 864-229-7984 Interesting times we live in, interesting times. And, one of the things that it will do, it will make things interesting, right? It'll make things interesting if she does run. I tell you what, the whole thing, though, will be over in June of next year because that's when the primary will be, right? So you'll have the primary going on, but you will not have... After that, it'll just be a Democrat versus a Republican. And I think whoever the Republican is could be surprised. But I think we'll probably end up with another Republican governor. All right. So we've talked about Kamala Harris's 107 days. We've talked about the president's fitness test. We've talked about Nancy Mace this morning. In closing, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about for events, and then we'll use the rest of the time to talk about some of the things that I have wanted, that I kind of wanted to talk about here. You can call or text 864-229-7984. That's 864-229-7984. Love to hear from you right here on WCRS. Get involved in the conversation. If you're on Facebook Live with us, you can make a comment on Facebook Live too. So this is what we've got going on. It's a way for you to be part of the show. But I did want to mention a couple of things going on this weekend. One, Emerald and Greenwood High School athletics have new websites and apps. Follow along with the Vikings at emeraldathletics.net and the Eagles at GoGreenwoodAthletics.com. That's GoGreenwoodAthletics.com. You can also download each school's app by visiting the App Store, Emerald High Athletics or Greenwood Eagle Athletics. Make sure to select push notifications to see alerts about cancellations, reschedules, and announcements. That's right. So, did want to mention that because football and all the other sports are right around the corner here, right around the corner. Also, Pathway House had put out a plea for cereal. They need donations of cereals. You can drop a box or boxes of cereal off right over there at Pathway House, 310 Panola Avenue. Also, you can order on Amazon and have it shipped to them directly. So check that out. Also, check out Greenwood Pathway House's website for more information. So they also have, what else did I want to tell you about? Over there in Milford Ponds area, Milford Pines neighborhood. They are actively, this is from the police department, actively investigating these incidents. They've had recently individuals committed a series of vehicle break-ins in the Milford Pines neighborhood. We are actively investigating these incidents and are seeking the public's assistance in identifying those responsible. If you recognize any of these individuals, this is off of Facebook, off the Greenwood Police Department's Facebook page, please contact the Greenwood Police Department. As a reminder, always remove valuable items from your car and ensure your doors are locked. These crimes are often crimes of opportunity and can be prevented by taking just a few extra moments to secure your property. And that is so, so true. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is Big Oaks Rescue Farm. You know, they are constantly striving to do good, to take those big animals that nobody else wants or can take. And this Saturday at Tractor Supply in Greenwood, they are having a Big Oaks Rescue Farm petting zoo. So they would love for you to come out. That is from, it's a 9 to 9 to 2, 10 to 2. One poster says 10 to 2, one says 9. So, but I'm sure the animals will be there. But 10 to 2 are the official time. I did want to mention that because this is a tireless job that Mary and her crew over there do. And they take some of the animals in the worst condition and are able to bring them back to health. So I just wanted to do a shout out on that. Also I'm excited about this event. A demolition derby at the Lawrence County Speedway is coming up September 20th. Somehow I got to see about being there because that is just too cool. So I wanted to mention that one too. All right. As far as that goes, that's kind of my little events. There's a lot, as always, going on, but that's a few of the events that I wanted to make sure you knew about. Now, I want to talk about all this, sex sells and how outraged the liberal side of America is with this Sweeney gal and her jeans. And I started thinking about this, and I was just like, what is the problem here, right? What is the problem? There's no real skin in this ad. I mean, there's a little bit. She's a very attractive girl, and what is going on? So why do we not appreciate attractive people? Why has it been that we can't have attractive people doing things and we can admire? Again, to me, this goes back to that competition thing. We are not all created equal. I'm on the radio because I'm not a fashion plate. There you go. It's just the way it is. Started this thing called Facebook Live. Somebody talked me into that, so I'm doing that. I'm trying to look a little bit more respectable, but still. This whole thing, American Eagle has to be excited because this was something that is a commercial that she was doing for American Eagle, and evidently their advertising campaign said, America's back. Why don't we do a picture of a good-looking gal wearing our clothes, our jeans and everything, and make it a little appealing? And so that's what we have. So the controversial Sydney Sweeney American Eagle campaign. I've got to tell you, when I took Penny up for her space surgery on Tuesday, I was at the Gaffney Outlets Mall, and lo and behold, there was an American Eagle store there. So I said, I gotta go in there. Well, I found a couple of pairs of jeans, so now I'm feeling kind of sexy in my new American Eagle jeans. Actually got a cool jean skirt up there for a real bargain. But why is this? And then you got to go back and you've got to look at history. Before I go do that, though, I want to talk about what Don Jr. did. Have you seen this? Donald Jr. posted an AI-generated image on Instagram featuring his father, Donald Trump, dressed entirely in double denim in a parody of the recent American Eagle ad starring Sydney Sweeney. He captioned it with a tongue-in-cheek Zoolander reference. That Hans, Donald is so hot now. It was intended as a mocking tribute to the backlash over Sweeney's ad, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, a play on great genes, that critics accused of echoing white nationalistic messaging. I mean, we are just entirely too sensitive in this world. And don't you think we should celebrate all people and their accomplishments? Sydney Sweeney has great genes. There is no way about it. She's a very attractive girl. She is in good shape. She She is what used to be, I want to say used to be, the American dream as far as looking like what people expected. And evidently, the liberal left just thinks you shouldn't have anything to do with white people. And I, for one, am glad to see that it is making such a statement, and I'm sure American Eagle, every day they get up and look at the cash registers and go, cha-ching! They're saying it was a good risk. So she's been criticized. Australian Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad was criticized by activists who viewed it like great genes, good genes, puts an encode of eugenic messaging. Come on, folks. What is going on? Why can't we just celebrate the fact she's a good-looking gal and she's wearing their jeans, and yes, she has great genes. So I wanted to go back and look at all the different ads we used to have about selling. Well, it wasn't selling sex, it was selling beauty and all this other. After all, Sharp Facets, back in the day, did one great ad that we used year after year. Not that same ad, but used the same theme to it, and it always ended with rock bottom prices. Now, something I actually came up with many, many years ago, and those of you that were alive and ticking back in the 1980s, I have had guys come up to me as recently as, I don't know, a couple, 3 years ago, say, man, those ads were just great. That's right. And that's because we were selling jewelry. And our girls would dress at Christmas time particularly. We did all different versions of the ad. But at Christmas time, we would dress the gals in sexy, good-looking sequin gowns. And we always talked, and they were wearing those, and we were always giving something away, like CZs, cubic zirconias, or something. We were part of a promotion with the cable network, and you used to be able to get your coupon and this type of thing. Well, this started out of that, and the girls would have big square sheets of poster board, and there'd be 3 of them, and they would stand there in their beautiful gowns, and they'd throw down these sheets of paper that said free, 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 CZ, cubic zirconias. And then they'd turn around and I'd say, Sharp Facets Gallery, home of rock bottom prices. And their butts would sway left, right, left. And it was tremendous. We got a lot of kudos. I understand back in the 80s that this was something that was fun, that I know of some barbecues that went on across Greenwood where women would get up and do their own rock bottom prices. I also know of people that came in the store and said, Ann, I'm not a rock bottom price, but I am a bonus buy. But it was using a little sizzle to hopefully get you in the door, to get that free CZ, and then what? To get you to look at the jewelry. And you know what? It worked. So you can say sex sells, or you can say using a little sizzle and a little imagination brings people in the door. And for years, it was a big, successful campaign for us. And she was Debbie Lyons, she's Debbie Dill, and she was the original rock bottom girl. That's right. So we had a lot of fun doing that, and it was always a hoot to see the reactions. But I know guys that would sit there waiting for that ad to come on TV. I always thought that was a hoot. All right, who else though sold stuff with their good looks? Well, how about Brooke Shields? Now, how about Brooke Shields and the Calvin Klein jeans ad? There's nothing next to my, you want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing. That was hers. That was a great ad. I was looking at some of the pictures last night, and I was going, may have been a little on the edge back in the 80s, but not for today. Oh my gosh. Of course, the thing was she was 15 and she was well developed. But yes, it was a massive success for Calvin Klein and got Calvin Klein into the cultural spotlight and helped elevate the brand's jeans line into iconic status. So the American Eagle campaign features Sydney Sweeney with messaging like, Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Jeans drew criticism for echoing themes of selective beauty and Western ideals. Critics compared it to Brooke Shields, pointing out how both relied on ambiguous wordplay and featured, oh my God, young white actresses as symbolic of racialized marketing versus modern beauty standards. You know, we celebrate everybody's beauty and everybody is different. So I just wanted to bring this up. I think that there are a lot of other things that were very, quote, controversial at the time. What were some of the other ones that I found last night? 864-229-7984. If you have a comment about what I'm talking about here, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Because I think it's so, yes, Christy Brinkley sold CoverGirl. Linda Carter sold contacts and Maybelline. Yep. And so there are just so many different products. Here we go. Diet Pepsi. Ray Charles delivered the jingle, but it was shirtless Pepsi delivery guys and flirty interactions with women that gave the spots a playful, suggestive energy. How about Axe body spray? The Axe effect. That was in the 2000s. Classic over-the-top premise. Guy sprays on Axe, women Axe. Like an axe. Women go wild. Ridiculously exaggerated and clearly satirical, yet it cemented Axe as a go-to for young men. And then don't forget about the burger babes. How about Hardee's? Carl Jr.'s Hardee's. That was from 2005 to 2050. Supermodels like Paris Hilton, Kate Upton, Kim Kardashian seductively eating burgers in slow motion. Controversial but unforgettable. The ads were so over the top they became part of pop culture. Then, of course, there was the milk mustaches with David Beckham, Jennifer Aniston, posed in sleek, sensual ways that were eye-catching and playful. And don't forget about the Wonder Bra. Hello, boys. Remember that? The Wonder Bra became a cultural moment in Europe. The slogan, "Hello, boys," was a cheeky, bold, and cleverly suggestive, widely considered one of the best UK ads of all times. And who can forget Victoria's Secret, the Angel campaigns? And that's how they push sexy lingerie into the mainstream. So this has been going on for a long time. How about Old Spice, the man you could smell like? Playtex, Cross Your Heart bras from the 1950s to 1970s. Noxzema, Take It Off with Farrah Fawcett back from 1973. Sexy but playful with the line, "Let Noxzema cream your face," delivered in a sultry tone. So it says, this ad walked the line but became a hit for the shaving cream company. Interesting. So that's some of the things that were out there that have always walked the line, but, just depends where your mind is. That's what they used to say. Keep your mind out of the gutter, right? But Is this not what life is about? Having something enjoyable, sexy? Don't you get tired of all these commercials for all the different drugs that are out there? The drug this, drug that. I tell you what, there was one commercial. I saw it a couple of times. I think I recorded it because it is a commercial about total body deodorant. And it's a little explicit. I'll have to find what I did with that commercial because I recorded it because I thought, my God, there is nothing lovely about this. But, they've got that Pitts, what is it? Pitts something and privates and feet privates. There's that one out there. But this one went beyond. It's another version of that. And I just was like, what is wrong with this? Why can't we have this little bit of sizzle when we're selling products? But I don't know about you, but I'm tired about all these drugs. Make sure you ask your doctor about this one. Make sure you ask your doctor about that one. And then I love the fact where they always say, that may cause heart attacks. Sudden dizziness, may pass out, all these things, and you're going to yourself, why would I ask my doctor about that? That's what I want to know. Anyways, those are some of the things that kind of cross my brain at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do today. I find somebody just sent me this one. Don't forget that Marky Mark and Justin Bieber sold underwear. Yes. And, when was it? Back in the 60s, maybe, 50s, 60s, where getting the Sears catalog was something that particularly young guys looked forward to see the underwear ads in there. I mean, come on. And here we are today. We cannot celebrate an ad that is just alive. And has some sizzle to it and just say good job. I'm sure American Eagle doesn't care what they say about it because cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But still, I find it hard to see that our society, and this is part of our problem, society doesn't celebrate, wow, cool ad. What we celebrate is the fact of who was forgotten, who was left out, who is trying to make a point about their superiority. I don't think so. I think they were trying to make a point that the Sweeney girl wears American Eagle jeans. And now I have a pair. And I feel sexy. I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS. For those of you that would like to know how Princess Penny is doing on her recovery from surgery the other day, she's doing just fine. She's told me she doesn't think she has any problems at all, and she doesn't see why she has to stay calm. She is ready to rev it up, baby. And it's a challenge, but where she's doing just fine. She's coming through this as a champ, as I knew she would. So anyways, I hope you all have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow morning right here on the radio. Well, God willing, I'll be here on the radio tomorrow morning, 9:30 to 12:30 with classic country and blues. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that I hope you will join us and we will have a good time right here on WCRS. Do not forget, this is tax-free weekend. Lots of items are tax-free, so there'll be lots of people out shopping. If you don't want to deal with all this, then either order online or kick back, wait till the first of the week. I know there are lots of sales here in Greenwood. I know they've got a big push on Uptown Greenwood for our local merchants here. I certainly support shopping local, but if you go into any of the big box stores, you're going to take an immense amount of time. So shop local, shop our smaller stores, and show them the love that they need to stay in business, because all those stores are the ones you go to when you need a donation, whether it's for a school donation, a group, this type of thing. And most of them are very, very gracious. So give back to them by shopping local whenever you can. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Have a great weekend. I'll be with you in the morning. Let's take it away right here on WCRS. Bye-bye, everybody. Just keep talking. Got a question or a comment? Always let me know. Call me or text me, 864-229-7984.
Keep on sharing. The phones are open. Keep on laughing. Give us a call. You gotta keep on caring. As long as you've got a voice, don't ever stop. As long as you've got truth, don't ever stop. You're on the air. As long as you've got love. What's on your mind?